What's the hubbub? I've got to start with a reaction countering a reaction. Meta meets Inception. Anywho, let's just jump into the video. So,
John Campea, the #1 James Gunn shill, is saying his wallet is closed. So he's supporting wallet closed, but not for James Gunn, for Paramount.
Harsh critics doing his menial content. His favorite word, menial.
The menial.
In his vast vocabulary, and yet still doing his minimal best to insult long-standing industry figure and YouTuber John Campea. First off, saying your wallets are closed isn't anything new. Just because you decided to make your primary content out of slogans against Gunn doesn't make them original sayings. Secondly, let's give the context you decided to leave out entirely of his point.
Claimed that Paramount was getting ready to go DEFCON 1 with a lawsuit should Warner Brothers not accept its proposed deal. Zaslav wrote, Warner Brothers continues to be of the view that Paramount is a litigious counterparty, which raises concerns regarding the likelihood that the offer or any related merger agreement will be completed on the terms proposed, the company wrote in a filing.
Yikes.
Translation? These guys are lawsuit happy, just like their leash master. They're lawsuit happy. And we think they're demonstrating they're litigious, and we are afraid that if we get into a deal with them, the closer we get to closing, they're going to try to change the deal and maybe even go to court over forcing changes of it. So it comes down to this. Number one, we think what Netflix is offering us is worth more, considering we get to spin off the television division and still make money from that. And we think that all combined is worth more than what Paramount's offering. Secondly, even if we wanted to go and we thought Paramount's offer might have been a little bit better, the reality is we look at their financial structure and we don't think it's sound. We don't think all this financing and leverage buyout propositioning they're doing is actually going to work and come through, and we're going to be the ones stuck with the bag. And three, we don't trust them. We think even if we did try to get into business with them, they're going to try to force our hand closer to the end of the deal to sweeten the arrangement for themselves, and they're willing to use the courts to do it. We don't think they're a good business partner.
Paramount is simply going over the top like a delusional ex-girlfriend who lost their man to someone that's not acting insane like them. Of course, that's kind of how a Snyder bro seems to live their life anyways. The fact of the matter is, even if Paramount was reportedly keeping Gunn to run his DCU as Netflix is doing, that doesn't mean what Paramount is doing as a whole can't be condemned. John Campea likes the DCU and is simply denouncing Paramount's actions, and this is proving him to not be a shill, actually. Knowing Paramount was behind Gunn, yet speaking out against their tactics is actually the opposite of your accusation. Look what else you got wrong, by the way, Snyder bros.
Well, you guys, Netflix wants to keep movies in theaters for only 17 days. And a lot of people is getting mad. You got people like John Campea trying to twist the story around because he got to keep his suckers in place. But this is probably what Netflix want. And a lot of you guys keep in mind that Netflix never came out and debunked this.
Ted Sarandos says that they will keep 45-day theatrical windows for Warner Brothers. If we're going to be in the theatrical business, we want to win. I want to win opening weekend. I want to win box office. So just because Netflix originals may get a 17-day theater release before streaming, that doesn't mean Warner Brothers division movies will. Poor menial argument, harsh critics.
The menial.
Let's jump into some updates as well. So, Tom King talks about Kyle Chandler's role as Hal Jordan in Lanterns. He occupied this character in a way he just fit it so perfectly. That combination of arrogance, a grounded arrogance, Kyle just immediately got it. I'm looking forward to this series, but probably even more so due to Jon Stewart, to be honest. I'm glad we will see multiple Green Lanterns covered, and the DCU is going all quadrants on content. Speaking of Tom King, the Mr. Miracle animated series is officially set in the DCU. That's right. We are getting more series and movies actively in development. It's a great time for true DC fans. Sorry, Snyder suckers. Quite honestly, Gunn is off to a good start with the DCU. Towards Superman, the film became the most obsessively rewatched movie of the year by Letterboxd members. Unsurprisingly, Gunn was also the most watched director of the year, followed by perennial top placer Christopher Nolan and Oscar contenders Ryan Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson. What's next? As I mentioned in a prior video, the rumors are that once there is a working script that Gunn is satisfied with, they'll look to fast-track his Batman by a 2029 release. He is also just giving some space for Matt Reeves' own Batverse, while still planning his own launch of the character. If the rumors of Wonder Woman appearing in Man of Tomorrow are true as well, we can stand to see both characters quite soon. Which brings me to our casting topic of this week at the Hubbub. Let's dive into DCU Batman casting today. With that, let's highlight Jacob Elordi. I know he is hesitant to do superhero movies, but he may make an exception for Batman as, hey, Batman is not even super technically. Elordi's name keeps popping up for good reasons. Christian Bale comparisons in acting ability, presence, and yes, the ability to play him long-term. He is 6'5" and fits the idea of a Batman standing eye to eye with Superman as David. Corin Sweat is rather tall. Brandon Sklenar, you could describe him as someone DC creatives are intrigued by because he doesn't feel like a movie star Batman, but rather a character first Bruce Wayne. There's a grounded, worn-in quality to him that aligns with a Batman who's already been doing this for years. He's also reportedly viewed as a strong fit for the Damian Wayne angle, someone who reads naturally as a hardened but capable father figure. Not flashy, not loud, but very deliberate. He feels like a Batman who survives. Glenn Powell is the most surprising name, but also the one that sparks the most debate. He's basically requested to put himself in the contention ring. Meanwhile, Fancasting wants him for Booster Gold. What he brings to the table is something DC hasn't leaned into in years, the Bruce Wayne mask. Powell may work specifically for his ability to sell the billionaire playboy side without losing credibility as a leader among heroes. The concern, whether audiences could buy him as genuinely intimidating in the cowl. Supporters argue that under the right direction and a more tactical, commanding Batman Powell could deliver the cleanest split between public persona and vigilante since the Nolan era. Alan Ritchson's name is the most publicly discussed and complicated. Ritchson has been a popular fan choice for Batman in the new DCU, and he confirmed he discussed the role with James Gunn even. Ritchson himself stated he strongly believes Batman isn't in his future, though, and he anticipates another role in the new DCU, which speculation is towards Captain Atom. Physically, he checks every box, but the main hesitation is on the Bruce Wayne part of the character. Otherwise, he has a massive frame, intimidating presence, maybe even a bit hulking for Batman, so to speak. You know that makes me think he'd be an amazing Bane, but still, there's a decent group of supporters towards him as Batman.
People beat you up on the sidewalk.
Casting Wonder Woman. Full disclosure, Adria Arjona has been rumored to have been cast already. She was already considered way back to when David Corenswet was cast as Superman. From her role in Andor to comments from James Gunn, who said she would be a great Wonder Woman, even if he disputed that a casting decision was made. Haley Steinfeld, who is soon to have her first child with Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, is a proven lead actress of the Hawkeye series who does action while having dramatic range. Naomi Scott, though a short goddess of 5'4" is worth a mention. Heels exist. Ask Tom Cruise. To me, it would go against how Gunn typically casts, but is why she appeals also. Naomi has big blockbuster leading experience such as Aladdin and brings beauty, a regal presence, charisma, and emotional weight to roles. Undeniably a lead aura. Grace Caroline Curry is often mentioned by fans, even if I'm not high on this choice. Many are familiar through her role as Mary Bromfield in the Shazam films, a physically capable Wonder Woman option with acting in question. Jessica Green is on the radar as well. She has strong action credentials from genre work, The Outpost, with real physical training and stunt experience. Sophia Taylor Ali. Now, she isn't widely cited in major casting reports, but she has acting experience in TV and film such as The Wilds, Uncharted, Grey's Anatomy, and would bring a fresh, diverse presence. Antonia Salib isn't broadly covered in mainstream casting rumors or major fan lists yet, so her inclusion here is more speculative and might come from niche fan community mentions in a way that can lend itself to someone like James Gunn, Anya Chalotra. She has genre credibility thanks to her breakout role in The Witcher and strong dramatic training. Snyder and Cavill fans may get enraged since Superman will remain David Corenswet. Nonetheless, she's not widely reported in casting rumors specifically for Wonder Woman, but her presence and range could fit depending on story. She has voice roles in animated DC projects, Cersei, showing her connection to comic book worlds. There are some other actresses which are popular, but likely older than what the casting director is looking for. 39-year-old May Calamawy, Asa Gonzalez, who is 36-year-old as of January. Ana de Armas is 37. Alexandra Daddario will be 40 in March. And Melissa Barrera at 35. Who would you cast? By the way, folks, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Tap the notification bell. I'll keep you in the loop on important DCU updates, and we will have civil debate discussions with all the fun DCU versus DCEU topics. As for today's video, what do you think about John Campea? How about the casting choices for our other heroes of the Trinity? With that, as always, look up, not back. Move on from the menial DCEU and embrace the present, which is a gift called the DCU. No Snyderverse, no problem. Wallets open,